we will discuss ambiguity in CFG here. So let's start our discussion with an example. Suppose we have a grammar, let's say S to SS oblique ASB oblique BSA oblique epsilon. And you see the language of this grammar is nothing but the set of all strings in which number of A's are equal to number of B's. And suppose we take a string, let's say AB, and I want to derive this string using leftmost derivation. So suppose this is production number 1, this is production number 2, S2 ASB, this is production number 3, let's say S2 BSA, and S2 epsilon is production number 4. So suppose I want to derive this string using leftmost derivation, so we will start the derivation with start variable S in this case. So let's say I am using the production number 2 to replace this S. So I'll move to ASB. Then I will use the production number 3, that is BSA. So we will get BSA. So here you can see this S is replaced by production number 3, that is S2 BSA. Then by using the production number 4, S2 epsilon, so we will place null here and I will get the desired string. So this you can say the leftmost derivation for this string. If you write the sequence here is 2, production number 2, then production number 3, then production number 4. And there is another way to derive this string also using leftmost derivation even. So suppose I use first the production number 1, let's say S2 SS. Then with this S I can use the production number 2, I will get ASB S. So this S is replaced by ASB, actually the production number 2. And now this S can be replaced with null by using the production number 4. So I will get this string. And again by using the production number 2, this S can be replaced by ASB. And finally using the production number 4, S2 epsilon, I may get the desired string. So here you can say the sequence of productions I have used is 1, 2, 4, 2 and 4. That means there are more than one ways to derive the same string from this grammar. If you draw the derivation trees for both of these, so for this one the derivation tree would look like this: ASB, then for this it is BSA, and finally this S is replaced by epsilon. And for this the derivation tree would be S2 SS. Then for this S, ASB is there, ASB. Then for this S, epsilon is there. And for this again ASB is there. And finally this S is replaced by the epsilon. So here you can see there exist more than one derivation trees for the same string, which is not desirable at all, since it means there are two interpretations, two meanings of the same string, which is not desirable at all. So what is ambiguity? So ambiguity is a condition where a string has more than one derivation trees. And what is ambiguous grammar? So a grammar will be ambiguous if it has a string W such that there exist more than one derivation trees for that string. It means if a grammar has a string for which there is a possibility of more than one derivation trees, then that grammar is known as ambiguous grammar. And there could be two reasons so that we can say that the string will have more than one derivation trees. Number one, if W has more than one leftmost derivations. Then there will be more than one derivation trees. Or number two, if W has more than one rightmost derivations. Surely if the string has more than one leftmost derivations, then there will be more than one rightmost derivations also. But one thing we have to keep in mind, that if a W has one leftmost derivation and one rightmost derivation, then that is not ambiguity. W should have more than one leftmost derivations. Then only we would say that the grammar is ambiguous. And if a grammar has no such string for which we can say there exist more than one derivation trees, then grammar will be unambiguous. And if a grammar has only one string for which there are more than one derivation trees, then entire grammar would be ambiguous. And if no such string is there, then grammar will be unambiguous. Here the grammar S2 ASB oblique AB. You see this grammar, and if we want to derive any string from this grammar, there would be only one derivation. No other derivation is possible for any string. Like if I want to derive say AABB, there is only one possibility, S2 ASB, then S2AB. There is no other derivation possible for any of the string of this grammar. We can take another example also. Let's say S2 ASA, S2 BSB oblique epsilon. So this grammar is also an unambiguous grammar, because for any of the string there is no more than one derivations possible. Like if I want to derive a string, let's say ABBA, then derivation tree would be S2 ASA, then S2 BSB, then S2 epsilon. So you see, these two grammars are unambiguous grammars. While you see the grammar E to E oblique E plus E, E asterisk E, E minus E, E divided by E oblique A. This is an ambiguous grammar. Like if we have a string there are two ways we can derive this string. E to E plus E, then this E can be replaced by E asterisk E like this, and there could be another derivation tree like this, E to E asterisk E, and with this I can derive E plus E, then A from each E. So you see here, for the single string there are two derivations are possible. This is why this grammar is an ambiguous one. And what is the problem in this ambiguity actually? You see, for a single string there are two meanings actually. If you see this derivation tree, here you can see the multiplication between these two A's is happening before this addition. So if you will interpret this string, so the multiplication is happening before the addition. First this will be executed, then the result of this will be added with this one. While in case of this derivation, you see first addition is happening here. First A plus A will be done, then the result of this will be multiplied by this A. Like first A plus A would be there, then the result of this addition will be multiplied by this A. So the meaning of this is what? This is like this. We are doing plus A, and here multiplication is there like this. A is multiplied by A plus A. And what is the meaning of this? Here you can say that A plus A is happening, then the result of this is multiplied by this A. So this is what? Like this. And this is what? Like this. Which is not desirable at all, because it will give two different answers. If we derive the string like this, the answer would be different, and if we derive the string like this, the answer would be different. But for a single expression, there should be a unique answer. So this ambiguity is not desirable at all. This is why a grammar must be an unambiguous grammar. Let's discuss some more observations here. Like I am using a grammar here to generate this language actually. So this grammar has two productions, and if I want to derive a string from this grammar, this is the derivation tree for that. And we see for this string, or you can say for any string of this grammar, there is only one possibility. So this grammar is unambiguous grammar. While you see this grammar also has two productions, and the language of this grammar is same actually. The language of both the grammars is same. And here you see for the same string there are two possibilities. Means there are two derivation trees are possible. So this grammar is ambiguous grammar. So what we can conclude here, that for a single language there may be more than one grammars which can generate the same language actually. And some of those grammars may be ambiguous, or some of those grammars may be unambiguous. So what we can say about a language? So a language L is said to be unambiguous if there exists one unambiguous grammar which can generate that language. That means out of those grammars, if any of the grammar is unambiguous, then the language will be unambiguous. And if all the grammars generating L are ambiguous, all the grammars are ambiguous, then only language will be ambiguous, or rather it is called inherently ambiguous language. So our entire discussion may be concluded like that. Number 1, a grammar will be ambiguous if for a string of that grammar there exist more than one derivation trees. And number 2, for a language, first conclusion is that there may be more than one grammars for the same language, and if there exists any one unambiguous grammar, then language will be unambiguous. So out of those grammars, if any of the grammar is unambiguous, then the language will be unambiguous. It means if all the grammars generating a language are ambiguous, that means for a language all the grammars are ambiguous, then we will say that language is ambiguous, and rather we call it inherently ambiguous. That means the ambiguity is inherent with the language. This is why no grammar is there which is unambiguous for this language. And this is the very famous example of an ambiguous language. So this is one of the ambiguous language for which there no grammar exists which is unambiguous. All the grammars generating this language are ambiguous. This is why this language is ambiguous, or rather I should say inherently ambiguous. So I hope you are able to understand the concept, and if you have any question, you can write it in the comment box below. Thank you.